Welcome to The Short Score, your weekly update of roping news from around the industry, where you can find the latest on the sport from the pro rodeo ranks to the jackpot world. I'm Taylor Vollen, and I'm your host. Hey everyone, it's your host, Taylor Vollen. Welcome back to another episode of The Short Score. It's Saturday, so of course we're bringing you another bonus roping.com tips episode. And you guessed it, we're keeping with the trend and bringing you another Jake and Clay episode. Back in the day, hotel rooms were the original perk of making the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. And on today's episode, Jake and Clay kind of talk about what it was like to make a living as a team roper back in the day.
Well, back in the day, you weren't guaranteed anything, were you?
Mm.
When we first started going to the finals, I guess the luxury of the whole thing going to the NFR, that you got to go up there and you didn't have to buy you a motel room. You got a free motel room for 12 days up there, 2 days before, and then the Sunday when it was over. That was like, the big thing. No entry fees, no expenses. But a lot of times people go to the NFR and have to borrow money just to get to the NFR. And then back in the day when it first started, $3,000 go-rounds. And then I think it finally got up to $4,500 or something like that. So man, it was just it was a struggle for the longest time but back in the day though, we got to jackpot. I mean, we jackpotted like crazy. I mean, and then they got a number system, and then so that slowed it down a little bit. And then so we've always been fortunate enough to do roping schools. So that's been a huge portion of our income for years. And then you started getting some endorsements, and then I kind of got a little bit of a gig. I started buying and selling a few horses along the way, and so I've always just been a scavenger trying to put the puzzle together throughout the years. As far as going to the finals and not, I remember one year we went and I didn't have a very good horse, and we rocked along there and didn't win very good, but we were winning the average. So that was going to be a pretty good payday. And I switched, felt that, man, I just had to catch the last couple steers. And there's strategies, going to the NFR. And I think that's what a lot of the guys use now is that, we'll just, from steer one, we're going to go for the first go round. And, if you go out of the average, and so that average just always kind of keeps you hanging on because the average is big too. So anyway, rocked along there, hadn't won much in the go round, but doing good in the average. And I borrowed a horse from a kid down and just need to go knock the last couple down. And I hickeyed a horn on the 9th steer, and we hadn't won much. And that was like that was a heartbreaker. I mean, that was like 30,000, which back then was, a lot to win, to win the average. So that was probably the worst finals.